Can you really be friends with your colleagues? Today, we're not gonna lie.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of NGL People, where we talk about things that matter. My name is Zeleny.
I'm Natasha.
And today we're going to talk about whether we truly can be friends at work with our colleagues. And we have two special guests here today who will share their stories. They are Keith and Michelle. So why don't both of you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Sure. Hi everyone, I'm Keith and I currently work in the fintech industry. I've been in the industry for about 2 years and prior to that, 4 years in finance.
Okay, I'm Michelle. I'm currently in a media publication company for about 2 years. And before that, I was in PR for a year and in marketing for another 3 years.
Also, three companies altogether.
Yeah.
Okay, so we invited the two of them today, right? Because they both have experience with being friends with your colleagues. And I mean, that might not be everybody's experience, right? So today we wanted to delve a bit deeper into their experience. So hear about how you came to become friends with your colleagues, what you even define as friends, whether there were certain things you felt you had to be more careful about, more wary about in building friendships with your colleagues. So we're going to dive right into their stories.
So first up, right, we want to define what friendships at work look like for us. Yeah, so Keith, what was it like for you?
I kind of see it as like a spectrum of friends you kind of make over time as colleagues. You have your really close friends who are colleagues, so you will go on like overseas trip together, you would like hang out after work and stuff. And then you also definitely have like those hi-bye friends who are colleagues, right? Like you just meet them at the pantry and then you're like, oh, hi.
Won't avoid lah, but we'll say hi
comment
lah.
about the coffee.
Yeah, like, or the typical words would be like, oh, how are you? Or like,
How's your weekend?
How's your weekend? How's
say a few lines.
how's it going? Then,
Oh, good. Oh, nice.
okay, nice. Catch up soon.
Never happened.
Yeah, correct.
How about you? Was it similar?
Okay, actually I think a bit different. Like in my past two workplaces, right? Like the people that I was working with was older actually. So it wasn't too easy to like befriend them also lah. But I think I came out of that still being friends with like my colleagues. Yeah. And my definition would be like, if they will be people that I invite to my wedding in the future, then considered friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. So like you will invite, okay, let's say you will invite your ex-boss, then you consider your ex-boss your friend?
No, so I feel like sorry my ex-boss who might be watching this from somewhere, but
may not be at her wedding.
Who might not
She got
be
a few
invited.
ex-bosses. It may not be you.
Yeah, it's not you lah. It's not you.
It's not you.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I would invite my colleague instead of my boss. Yeah. Because I think like, you know, we bond and then we interact with a lot on like a daily basis, right? So even like as I look back into like my first job, for example, I can think like I'll invite this colleague and that colleague and like so forth.
Right.
I think like for me also, I do have friends that are at work that you just, you know, like talk rubbish, laugh a bit at work, but then you don't really see yourself having deeper conversations. But then you have those, right, that maybe you have to OT together long hours, and then when you have dinner, somehow like there's like magic that happens after 7 p.m. where people like let down their guard a little bit. Yeah, so I think if I can recount the friends that I made at work in my past workplaces also, they are really people who, you know, stay in the office until 1 a.m. kind of thing for me also. And these are people that I will still catch up with even though I've left like the company many years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my definition is a bit tighter. So to me, we can be friendly, but we're not friends.
No, because you have very different standard of friendships, right?
Yeah, so like, colleague is colleague. It does like, we can be friendly and we can get along well, but would I necessarily call you my friend? I don't know. So, okay, to me, it's like friend is like, I would,
friend?
we share personal conversations. So like personal, deeper conversations where I'm willing to tell you stuff about how I feel, maybe what I'm going through in life. And a very big marker for me is that I'm willing to spend time with you out of work.
That's true.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to how I generally approach work. Like I'm okay to go to work. You know, so like I don't need to have
friends.
like
You can knock
friendly
off and
conversation. Like we can get along fine, but I don't need to have personal conversations at work, and I feel like I shouldn't be having personal conversations during work hours. So if I'm willing to have a personal conversation with you after work hours, you friend. Yeah, I think my definition of friends is a bit different. That's why when I hear what Keith said, I'm like, your friends can span across such a big spectrum. To me, it's acquaintance. Like hi bye is acquaintance.
Sorry, my vocab is limited. But yes, that's the right word, acquaintance. Sorry.
Yeah, lor, so I don't know. Friends is a pretty high bar.
Were you able to make friends right off the bat, or was it a bit of a process for you guys?
I think my experience is a little special in a sense that because it was first internship and then the full-time job.
Oh,
Right.
So during the internship, I had some friends. But I think what helped more was that we sent people overseas for like training.
my God,
Training.
Yeah, but
You
you
got the common
don't.
training.
The only thing you train is probably like
Your liver.
yeah, your liver and also like how well you sightsee like things in another country.
Very good at taking photos.
Yeah, like how many musicals you can watch, and stuff like that.
wow, very tough training.
So as you can imagine, like through this training,
yeah.
Your BMT is basic
You're really
musical
getting
training.
together.
yes, then we bond through this BMT, right, the basic musical training or Broadway musical training. Yeah,
So
correct.
already.
So it was fun, I think, but I think that helped lah. That helped.
Definitely, like you have no work responsibilities yet.
Kind of.
Yeah, and
Guys,
then you
it's
spend.
orientation. This is the Sentosa trip. Before
Correct.
school start.
Do you all become friends?
Yeah, the majority of us
Continue.
were very tight. Yeah, and even until today.
Okay, like how close?
Let's say
Were invite to wedding.
two of them were my groomsmen.
Wow.
Okay, so he did invite
That's
them.
close.
And the
Close.
rest were
It's
at
so-
my wedding for sure.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
very
seeing
friends.
some of them this Friday.
Wow.
So friends.
And these are friends from your first workplace,
Correct.
not current one.
Yeah.
Very impressive because
Yeah.
in a country like Singapore, it's so fast paced and everything. It's hard, right, to
Yeah.
catch up and all. So,
Wait, so when you entered the workplace, right, did you go in wanting to make friends?
I think the context was that you started with people that went off the same batch going together.
Okay.
So then, at least for me, I felt that I should at least try to make friends since number one, I will be sort of stuck with them for my career,
Yep.
at least at the start.
Yep.
So to me, I wanted to make friends. And
how about you when you first started out?
My experience is very different.
No field trip,
From this,
no
no
BMT.
field trip, no excursions, no nothing.
Excursion.
Go to work
Go take
and
the bus and then come attendance.
no, nothing. It's just like you're there and then you do a quick like orientation in office with your HR and that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I
Like,
think this is most
I think
people's
that's
experience
normal.
lah.
Yeah, was there
normal.
anyone around the same age as you that started around the same time?
Okay, actually no, because I was quite young when I joined my first company. Like I was like a
Okay.
poly grad.
Right.
So
Very
in fact, I
young.
was like
Youngest.
the youngest. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I didn't really go in with the idea that I want to make friends because being so young, right? I wanted to kind of look like a bit more professional and didn't want to let people like
Understand.
think like, oh, you're a kid lah, you come here and work. So I won't say like making friends was like my main goal or like a priority lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say also my first workplace, right? We all worked in teams. Yeah, so every time during lunch, there's a team that you like go out and get lunch with, and there's a team that you work very close with on like every single project. Yeah, so I guess inevitable that you just kind of spend a lot of time with them
Yeah.
during projects, and sometimes like if you OT occasionally, then it's also the same group lah. So to me, time is quite a big factor in making friends. So the fact that we spend so much time together as a team help a lot in at least getting to know my colleagues better lah.
It's interesting that you brought up time because I think that is one big factor, like proximity, right? The
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
time you spend with a person, and hopefully it's someone that like got same vibes as you,
Yeah.
then you will naturally become closer. Was it like that for you, Keith?
Yeah, actually, yes. Because when we started, we worked very long hours. So it was like anywhere between like 12 to 16 hours a day. So because of that, then when it really gets, in a sense, interesting or people start to open up, it's usually after like dinner, then when, all the seniors have left or then it's just like all the juniors around, then you just then that's when you start to really engage with each other, like just like, hey bro, what are you working on? Oh, so and so just made me do this kind of thing. Then that's where you bond over it.
Then you'll complain.
Yeah, we can complain or
No, they bond. They don't complain.
yeah,
they
bond.
Trauma bonding.
Yeah, bond. Correct. Or like maybe like cause maybe the entire office only you and another person. Then y'all can talk about like anything,
Yeah,
right?
true lah,
like,
true.
hey, how's everything? That kind of thing. So
So you all will work and talk at the same time.
Yeah, because the office was so empty, right? Like, if you talk, then that guy can just hear you maybe like two to three tables down or something like that.
Wow.
So I thought it was quite cool. And then sometimes, I mean, since you're already staying until like say 9 p.m., then what's the difference between leaving at 9 p.m. and just going down for a drink and then leaving at 10
like
p.m.?
plus another 3 hours.
No lah, 1 hour lah, 1 hour.
quite big difference.
It's
Then
like you're gonna claim the cab home from the company anyway. You might as well stay a bit longer.
that is so on point, correct? So the point is, I think because of the long hours, then we really got to interact and know each other more outside of professional work topics lah, or like small talks for that matter.
What are some, I guess, things that help us maybe to become friends with our colleagues? Like, there are certain factors, right? One we discussed quite a bit was time. Yeah. Are there other things that come into play for y'all?
Probably another thing is like how that person is like the personality. I mean, if you're making friends, you will want to kind of gravitate to people that at least either have similar interests with you, or at least you can trust like kind of like their work ethics or like their character. And I think that one thing I remember was like I actually have a work buddy at work. Like, okay, technically this work buddy, right, is like I'm assigned to her and I'm her work buddy, show her the ropes, right? Then we obviously go to lunch together and stuff, but work buddy is work buddy. Work buddy doesn't necessarily means like friend after work ma. Yeah, then I recall like actually I over time then I find out that this girl is like quite sincere in our interaction, and we can like joke quite well and like talk about work quite well, right? Then I actually asked her first, like I was like, oh, do you have anything on like tonight? Actually I have this voucher expiring soon already, like you wanna accompany me to go to the mall and grab a shoe, then we maybe get dinner, something like that.
Wow, it's so nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, but she agreed lah, of course. So okay, there is also a bit of like build something that we built like foundationally, like as
already got
friends.
some sense of familiarity.
Then
work.
she won't mind, that. I mean, she could reject me.
This is so interesting to me because if I had a voucher, I will go off after work on my own and I'll be so happy that I can go shopping alone. I'm really quite curious, like, is you're very extroverted?
I'm like middle. I'm not really like.
Like, you don't mind lah?
Yeah,
like
I don't
spending
mind.
time with new people.
Okay. Then now maybe like that I'm an extrovert because I wouldn't want to go and buy the shoe by myself.
Wow, I love it. So actually, this whole idea of like making friends at work, right, does not excite me in a single bit.
We want to hear from you, Nata. Like, how does work like? Yeah,
Like, to me, it's a plus. But like, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go to work and like don't talk to me, right? But like, it's a bonus lah if I can find friends at work. But I don't need to. At most, like maybe, like I feel generally like colleagues, if you get along fine enough, you can eat lunch together. But we don't need to be super like besties to eat lunch together. Be like when I go to work, I want to work. I also don't really want to like spend so much time like bantering until like it affects my productivity, because I really do have a lot of work to clear and I don't want to banter until I have to OT to finish my work, right? So that's one consideration. Like I want to finish my work and I need like to focus. I think maybe the nature of the work I do also, like I don't really need to work in teams as much. So I think these to me are some factors that maybe like in some sense don't have the natural opportunity to really get to know everybody. So if I were to get to know friends at work, right, it takes a lot of intentional effort, which then as an introvert, I'm not particularly willing to do. Sometimes I feel a bit bad because I feel like I'm a bit antisocial in comparison to the organizational culture. So I try. But I do not naturally look forward to really making friends.
Interestingly, for my workplace, right, the people that I work the most closely with are people that are totally different, like life station and age from me. So I'm like the oldest. Okay, so for me, right, because it's a very team-based culture, at the same time, I also have established like very strong friendships outside of my work already. And then like, I mean, I got a husband and everything, right? So in a sense, I'm already like filled. My social tank is already filled. But I think like, to me, work is enjoyable and things get done effectively, right, when you have good relations with the people you work closely with. So I would make it a point to have lunch with them and like, just talk about things outside work. It can be like small things like how's your weekend, or things like, oh, like, it was nice on Netflix. And recently, right, we went for like work slash like play trip to to KL. There was an illustration fair that was going on. So I mean, for me, I'm not like a designer or creative or blah blah, right? And it was like quite a packed like work season. But I thought like, oh, just go with them lah. Yeah. Anyway, like, you know, can just eat like and then like, you know, just walk around, play a bit. Yeah. And actually, it was very fun. Yeah. Even though like I was like a very different age group from them.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I would classify them as friends, but I would say that I enjoy being with them. Yeah, so I think that's something like I'm learning also right now as I transit. Because all along, in like 6 to 10 years of working, right, it's always just, you know, with peers, very easy to go out for lunch, go holiday. Yeah, but for now, right now, I am actually experiencing something a little bit different. I realize that I can still get to know people personally.
I was just thinking about it when you were saying that, right? Because I do relate with that. In some sense, like, as much as I think it goes back to my definition of friendship, maybe. I'm not the most like, wow, I really want to like have very deep personal for life kind of relationships with my colleagues, right? But I do value having that positive relationship where there's some sense of maybe what I would call camaraderie rather than like friendship. You know, like that sense of like actually we have each other's back, we're doing this together, we are a team, and there's definitely some trust there lah, and it gets the job done faster and lighter, I feel. Yeah.
Actually, on the flip side, right, like even though having friends at work is a good thing, but we know that there are many people who choose to not make friends at work. Yeah, why do y'all think that's the case?
To be honest, I think that like whether you see your colleagues as competition might be a big factor as to some people might be careful when it comes to making friends, because at the end of the day, they might be afraid that, oh, you know, I'm too close to you, you take advantage of me, number one, and number two, you know what I'm doing, then you try to outdo me to get a better performance and stuff like that. So I think so interestingly, I experienced both sides of things in the sense that during my internship, I think competition was very high, right? Because they're not gonna offer a job for everybody. So then you realize that like actually the so-called friends that you make, it's a bit like tricky.
Did it change? Like how did it?
I wouldn't say it changed. In fact, when you first enter and then you make friends and all, right, there's always that whole idea of like competition, and because of that, then I think some examples would be like maybe some of them will group up, or I will group with someone that I'm closer with, and then we'll try to like schedule like coffee chats with seniors without the rest.
Guys, this is Hunger Games.
Yeah, something like that, right? So I think people would be less willing to help. But even if they help, it's with a intention of like showing that they are helpful, if that makes sense, right? Yeah,
Like
but
everything is very political, is it, you feel?
yes, if everyone sees everyone as competition.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that in the same environment, conversely, right, when I entered as full-time, I think the fact is that we were still competition with each other. We didn't see each other as competition. And because of that, then I think we were very willing to help each other. Like I OT, actually my friend can leave already, but then he saw me working, so he will offer to stay back to like, hey, what are you working on? Let me get on to you so that we can all go home early together kind of thing. So
very nice,
so I think the crux is really, at least for me, some people might be wary because they just see each other as like competition.
Why didn't you? Why did you choose to see your friends / colleagues as not competition?
Because I don't think it was healthy. And I'm glad that they didn't see me as competition as well. So sometimes I also think it takes two hands to clap. Like let's say you can be very neutral and friendly, but if like everyone else is like very like Hunger Games, so you put it, then you have to survive, right? So but then I think that kind of culture would make it very difficult for people to make friends, in my opinion lah.
Yeah, because there's no trust lah. Very hard to.
Correct. Then you can't really share. You are very cautious with
Like, in
sharing
some
your
sense,
weakness.
You never really know whether somebody is competitive towards you, right? So you always have to take a gamble, is it? I feel it's hard to protect yourself 100%. Because even this, let's say, like testing a person's character or over time, right? Sometimes you have to take some hard knocks to realize that this person is not trustworthy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have an experience, right? So I think back then when I first entered, there was this person or this colleague in in the office I thought was, okay, I wouldn't say like a close friend, but it's like, friend, no. So then I think I followed him on Instagram, and I think he followed me on Instagram, something like that. Then, being year one, I very playful, right? So sometimes I will Insta story my friends in office, but in the bank you cannot like post on social media lah, something like that. But then the next thing I know, right, me and a few other analysts, but obviously it was my fault, got caught into the office and then like got scolded like,
Oh, shit.
don't you guys dare to like use social media? Then I was like wondering who 包told me. So I went through my list. Then I was like, oh my god, it must be this person. Then
Was he a friend?
I wouldn't say it's a friend, but I wouldn't say it's an enemy also, right? So that's
He's a
that's
snake
so
looking
now-
back.
He's not.
But the problem is I wasn't even a competition. I don't know what went wrong. Like because the person is like a lot year senior, right? Like I wasn't a competition at all. So I can only imagine in other contexts where competition is fiercer. Someone might even do that.
of course.
Maybe he just felt it was wrong but didn't dare to tell you.
No way. No way.
Went the other
No
route,
way.
you
I
know,
just
like-
don't know what happened lah. I don't know what went down there.
So
So,
what happened after that?
just like that lor. Yeah. Just like
So
that.
just stay clear of the person. is
Stay
it?
professional. Stay professional. Yeah.
I think another reason why people might be guarded or choose not to make friends at work is sometimes if you are taken for granted or taken advantage of. In my previous workplace, so this happened to my ex-colleague. So she was the finance manager, and she's very fierce, you know. So like as a account servicing, like when we had to balance the accounts at the end of the month, right? Like we very scared one, you know. So we like had to make sure everything was in order. Things needed to be submitted on time. If not, she will like be on our heels. Yeah, and so she resigned. And while she was serving her notice, right, in that 2 months, her last 2 months in the office, she like was a totally changed person. Not at work itself, but I don't know why she suddenly invited me and this other colleague out for dinner. And then at dinner, right, wow, she started sharing about, you know, her husband lah. Then she had this like obsession with Lilo and Stitch. Then she showed us her house. Like she's Indonesian lah. So yeah, her house in Indonesia, right? So I was like, wow, like I just like at the end of the dinner, I was like, wow, like I wish we could know each other more in the 2+ years that, you know, we were working together. Yeah, like to have more of these like lunches or dinners and stuff like that. Yeah, then after that she said that actually she draws a very clear line between work and friends. So she will never make friends at work. Yeah, then I asked why lah. Then she said because she had a very negative experience last time where she was good friends with a colleague, right? And then when it came to like the end of the month where she had to do like closing and stuff, that colleague basically asked for like extensions after extensions. As a finance person, you need to be objective, right? And all. So, but that person told her like, hey, we are friends, can't you just like do this for me? Yeah, and I think it really affected her. And she felt that, why are you not professional? And if I were to give you these kind of extensions without approvals and stuff like that, right, actually it's jeopardizing my career, it's jeopardizing like my own work. So from that day on, somehow she just decided that when she's at work, she won't even talk to anyone. She goes for lunch alone also. Yeah, she's that fierce, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, so but I think after hearing her story, I can kind of understand like some sort of betrayal somewhat when someone that you thought has your back, someone who understands you and work at all, suddenly like uses that against you. Yeah, I mean it's not as serious as backstabbing or taking a position, but maybe what she felt was, you know, a bit like that also, that made her decide to just draw the line completely.
Yeah, no, actually I quite relate to like this lady. I mean, it didn't happen to me personally, right? But maybe I go in not wanting to make friends, right? It's also because I don't want people to take like advantage of me at work. So I go in, I'm like, okay, let's keep things like above board, right? Like everything is like, I need you to do this, can you do this? Like, okay, I'll work on this. I'm very straight. Just work, right? One recent thing that like I've heard from like my friend is also like at work, right? She had this friend lah that she thought like they were like quite nice and like hitting off quite well, right? And then when they were like working on a project together, suddenly like this other like friend of hers, right, started to be very unprofessional and like maybe like was very angry or even talked to her really rudely. And I was like, wow, actually why would this person even talk to you like this?
During
Like
work
hearing
hours.
from it, yeah. And they were talking about like discussing about work stuff. So I was a bit like, wow, actually I'm very shocked, right? Because I assume that you guys have a friendship, then he would maybe wanna actually do more for you. Okay, I don't know lah, but for me it's like if I'm friends with
Be
my
more
colleague, I would want to
supportive
help you, right? Try to get
Yeah.
this thing sorted out for you. But this friend like the
Became
other way, you know.
very,
So then he said to her like, like but we're friends ma, like you will understand, right? Like I don't need to say so nice or whatever. But that to me was a bit like, sorry, but our friendship isn't like a free pass for you to abuse it like that. Like, you know, just treat me so carelessly or like be unprofessional about it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we can be friends, but at the same time like work is still work, you know.
Yeah.
Like you should hold yourself to a certain standard lah.
Yeah. So whether or not we can make friends in the workplace, I think there is definitely still room to be professional when it comes to doing your
Definitely.
job.
Of course.
Yeah, and when the
Yeah.
lines are blurred, then that's what leaves a bad taste lah
Yeah.
in people's mouth.
I mean, if we were to, I were to prioritize it, like work does come first
Yeah,
because that is the context of
Why you met?
exactly.
I'm very curious, right? Let's say there's somebody at work or that maybe y'all really hit it off very well chemistry wise, right? But this person's work ethic very bad. Can y'all be friends?
I think I can't.
Okay, and you are, let's raise the stakes. You are affected by this person's work ethic.
hit off like super well.
Yeah, like wow, if we met in school, we can be best friends eh. But then right, this person is
Then I'll tell the
super
person,
poor work ethic.
Sorry, but we never meet in school, so we cannot be friends right now. You are just not giving.
Wow, that's
Cannot. Okay, but
pretty-
to me, I think it's like if like that, right? Then maybe you should resign. Then I'll be friends. Like
Don't let me
or-
see you work lah. Then we
Yeah,
can be friends.
yeah.
lah.
Like,
That's
let's not interact on a
intense,
professional
eh?
level.
Yeah,
Okay, but
hardcore.
I will also say like I would tell this person like straight up like, hey, I think you have some like work issues that you really need to settle lah. I mean, as a friend, I treasure you, right? And I want you to improve at your work, right? This is just not it lah. Like you can work on this place, like you know. Then I feel like this person also need to have some like desire to
Self-awareness.
grow
Yeah.
professionally, right? Like if not, I think really very hard to be friends.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on like when you say friend, how close you guys already
Spectrum, this
are.
one's spectrum,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, spectrum, right? So, but because to me, if I'm really close to you and let's say your work ethics really like very lousy, right? Then I'll just have a very honest conversation with you and let you know that, hey, bro, or hey, sis, like I think this area you might need to kind of look into, or maybe you want to consider, you know,
Yeah.
because I realized that actually it don't just if it affects me, then it probably affects other colleagues, and I don't
Yeah.
want it to come back at you lah. So it's really for your own good, right? So I think that conversation I will try to have if I'm really very very close.
Yeah.
If I'm not that close, then
Whatever.
maybe then the work ethic will like kind of demote the
affect, right,
status
the
from
friendship.
friends to
Yeah,
colleagues even
it
more.
depends. I would want to be friends with people who reflect the same values as me. So
Oh,
if
okay.
let's say one of my values is to
So if you
be
slacker,
good
you
at
can
work.
be friends with the person.
Exactly. Slack
If you
together.
slacker, then that's why you guys are friends. That's why.
Let's go,
Like, hey, pantry, let's
go
go,
pantry,
man.
let's toilet
Yeah.
together also.
That's actually very true.
Oh my god. Okay, but because I'm not that kind of person, right? So I won't gravitate. Like what Michelle said, I won't gravitate towards people who have
Who
very
are true.
contrasting work ethics from
Yep.
me. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like I can work with you if I have to.
So now, right, you are the one who is bad at your job. Then you enter the company.
I will
You dare
never
to
be
make
bad
friends.
at my job. Okay.
Wow.
Famous last words. But yeah, okay. You enter. You're not that great. You dare to make friends.
Oh my goodness.
Then all the more I will try to make friends.
Really?
Yes, because then I
You
need
beg.
all the help I can get, right? So then I just it's a natural selection process. So I just try to make as many friends as possible, and whoever that like
Whoever's compassion falls on you.
yeah, or whoever
yeah,
that
the most compassionate.
Okay,
person.
let's put it in
because
nice.
you're harmless, ma.
there's one.
You're not competition.
Yeah, you're not that competition.
Okay, how about we don't say compassion? Maybe someone sees belief
Nurturing,
in you. You know,
empowerment.
they have
They see potential.
Sees potential and have belief
Yeah.
in you. Then all the more, then you found your friend. You get what I mean? Then, but those that like, wow, noob, don't want, then natural selection, right?
It's
But-
like you consider them their friend, but do they consider you their
correct,
friend?
correct. But I will try lah. I will try to make as many
Wow,
friends
but those
as
people must
possible.
be true
Yeah, lor.
You know what I mean?
You confirm
Because-
want to attract those that want to make use of you because there's nothing
Yeah,
to
there's
use.
nothing to use.
That's,
So
that's
that's
my
why-
point, which is
Yeah,
why
yeah,
it
yeah.
works. Cause then you go knock on all the doors, then whichever door open is the right one, ma. Instead of you scared, then no door, yeah.
Sometimes in life it's good to be not so good. You attract the genuine people.
Yeah, I don't think I was no, I don't think I was anyone's competition. That's why I like enjoy my work. Never got into politics. Got nothing to compete.
Harmless, right?
God.
Can
Oh,
cruise.
interesting. I think if it's me, I probably will just hang with people around my caliber. Like
Who is as bad?
yeah, who at least we like share our like struggles together, that kind of thing.
Like remedial class, right?
Yeah, like support each other. And yeah, because I don't imagine like those people who are like extremely good. I mean, maybe they will help you out of like, okay, team effort, right? Let's try to help this like person pass probation or like finish the internship well. But if not, I think I'll be quite paiseh lah. To like
Yeah.
keep wanting to like join this like cool kid gang, like everything also can do, but I'm like I cannot. Then I feel like I'm like outlier. So I would rather, if that's me, maybe my priority, actually, first of all, my priority is not to make friends really.
Right.
Yeah,
It's to
I will
get
be like,
good
I
at
need
your
to
job,
do
right?
this better
Yeah,
lah.
yeah,
Where got time to
yeah,
make
yeah,
friends?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, same actually.
It's true.
I have no time to make friends.
Yeah.
So I can't even get through my onboarding slides, you know.
Yeah.
I need to read this first.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'm a blend. I will feel so paiseh, but I will like hurry up, make sure I like bring myself up to speed, right? And then maybe in the process beg some people to help me.
Yeah, and make friends.
Hope that there's a compassionate soul.
Yeah, but
out
in the
there.
way I make friends, I will outrightly say, please help me. So the moral of the story is if you're bad at your job, you better have friends.
No, you should be good at your job so that you can have friends.
Back up first.
Yeah, you be good at your job so that you can have friends at work.
No, be good at your job so that you have time to think about making friends at work. You know, don't like try to do too many things at one time, like one at a time. Yeah.
So try to be good at your job.
Then
Depends
got time,
on
then
what's
make friends.
important to you lah.
It's true lah.
Yeah,
Actually,
you love
it's
making
true.
friends, right?
It depends
Let go
on
lah.
yeah, it depends on what's important.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like-
you're
yeah.
like, I'm here
If you
to
wanna
learn,
go-
you know,
Yeah,
then,
I'm
okay.
fine to cruise, but
Yeah.
I want to make a lot of friends. Then why not?
okay,
Let's
yeah.
go.
No, but that's a
Let's
good point
go.
because I think now we, like especially for younger workers, right? Like there is an inclination towards fun workplaces.
Yeah.
And workplaces with very, very good company culture. But no matter what, as an intern, as a young worker, you must remember that you are going to work, ma.
Someone's
You know?
paying you.
Yeah, you're not
They're not
going there
paying
to
you
find
to
your
make
next
friends.
bestie. So if you find your bestie, that's great. But
Give added bonus.
yeah, do you deliver your work on time? Are you a good worker?
If you supervisor, you talking.
Yes, if you have so many friends, but actually you don't get your work done right, you're a bad worker. Yeah, so I mean, it does come back down to that lah, practically. Yeah.
You know, for our listeners, right, they could be in companies or cultures where it may be a little bit difficult to not just find friends, but even to find a sense of camaraderie. Yeah. So, is there anything like you like to share to just encourage them a little bit?
I think maybe sometimes it's not a personal thing. Maybe in general, everyone was just very focused on their job. They don't have the time or the energy to kind of go out there and make friends. Or it might just be that everyone is an introvert and they don't really. It takes a lot of effort. So sometimes maybe not being able to step out to make friends and stuff like that. It might not be a very personal thing. But I think a lot of people, most of the time, even myself, sometimes take it very personally. Like, oh, is it I'm not cool enough? Or, oh, is it I'm not like you guys? Or stuff like that. But come to rest, sometimes actually not really. It's just people no time. Yeah, like they just no time and there's just too much work to do, right?
Different priorities.
Different
right?
priorities, yeah. Like maybe a lot are focusing on just really being a very good worker.
That's very reassuring, actually.
Yeah. I feel like one of the things I learned this from my friend. So she was like a young fresh grad, right? But from engineering. So like the company that she went into, right? Everybody there is like some old uncle. So her whole company is like she's the youngest person, the next oldest person. Back then she was like maybe 24. Next youngest person was like early 30s. And then everybody else is like late 40s, 50s,
Wow.
uncles. So actually, interestingly for her, right, her experience was that you don't really need to just make friends with people who are around your age. I guess for many of us, if we go into a company where there's a whole age range, it's more natural to try and connect with somebody who is around your age, around your life station. But for her, in some sense, because she had no choice, right? So she got to know people who were very, very different from her lah, in life station, in life experiences. But she did say that to her was very interesting and very meaningful because you get to, number one, you're surprised that actually sometimes you really can get along well with this random old person that you never would have chosen, right? If you had the choice of a younger person there. But also then you learn a lot from their life experiences, whether it is like their experiences at work, their career, or like how they navigate things in life, how they navigate family, and all these things. And these are opportunities that we don't really have growing up in school just because you're always around people your age. So going to work is kind of like a chance to broaden your worldview and get to know people who are not in the same age range as you.
Nice.
I agree, because my second workplace, right, I went into it, I think I was like 21, around there, right? Then the next youngest person was like 30. Then after that, the next one is like 40, like, or like nearing 50 already. Then I recall them, the older ones, telling me like, oh my gosh, I'm old enough to be a mom.
Oh, you have to be
and I'm like, you know what, you are right. But beyond that, right, like, I'm still like friends with them, like even after I left the workplace. And I think one thing that happened like during that whole work period, right, was that when we have lunch, right, really like take time to, I guess, ask them questions about their life. Like what you said, they will surprise you. They have so much experience to share about their lives. And I mean, okay, lucky for me, surprisingly, one of my colleagues was like hilarious. Like the way she talk about her kids, or like she describes them, or her
some of these
cat.
aunties damn funny
Yeah,
one.
very
Super funny. You know what I tell her? I say you should just like publish a book based on your Facebook posts. Like funny enough. Short book, but I think it'll be super funny. And
Susan's Tales.
yeah, she's so hilarious. And not just that, actually one of the older lady, right, that I was working with, she was actually my general manager. But I think first of all, I mean, she has a nice character lah. Then she also went out of her way to help me. But beyond that, like I could really tell that she was very sincere in interacting with me, like really helping me to develop my career in a sense also. But and when I was thinking of leaving, actually I think she was really a friend to me because she really helped me like think through the whole process. You know, like when I was like considering like, okay, now that I'm done with like my further studies, right, then what's next? Actually, I told her like very directly, like I'm thinking maybe I'll leave in like a year, you know. Then she was like, yeah, I mean, if there's not much that this place can offer you, then maybe you should go somewhere else lah. Then can write a recommendation letter for you and stuff like that. So I think to me, I mean, you could think like, oh yeah, she's a great mentor, but I really saw her as a friend. And even after that, when we both left the workplace, actually we met up for dinner still. Yeah, so I think it's like, it will surprise you lah. Yeah.
It's true. Wow, that's so cool. Yeah, so we hope that if you do struggle a little bit in workplaces, that you may not find peers or just people naturally having same interests as you. It doesn't mean that, you know, you won't be able to find friends. You can find people who can share their life and somehow relate on different levels also. So hope that gives you some ideas on how we can, you know, like build relationships or friendships with our colleagues.
Yeah. So if you enjoyed this episode, you can give us a like, you can subscribe to our channel, and you can share this episode with somebody who you think might enjoy it as well. If you have a colleague you're trying to test water with, you know, you kind of want to figure out where that person stands with regard to friendship, send them this video. It's a great way to start conversations over your 2-hour lunches. Right, Michelle?
That's right.
Yeah. So, or you can watch it together after work. Right? So with that, we've come to the end of our episode. Thank you for joining us today. If you like our content, you can find us on socials at ngl.people on Instagram and TikTok. You can find our episodes on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we also have a Telegram channel where we share behind the scenes footage as well as information about our new episodes coming up. So until then, we're done with today's episode and we'll see you in our next one. Bye!
Bye!